Hello, everybody. Vlad here from David Tech. Unfortunately, David will not be here with us, but yeah, we've got some exciting stuff to talk about. Uh, I would like to salute first the Discord members that are actually in here. Nelson, hello, how are you doing? Dinomac as well. Hello, hope you're doing well. Lloyd as well. Hello. Soperator, hello as well. Chris as well, and a couple of others, I think, as well. Algabot, hope you're doing well. And yeah, as well, everybody else, hope you're doing well today. Of course, Yuli as well, hope you're doing well. He'll be joining us in just a couple of moments. He has an amazing strategy prepared for you guys. So without further talking, let's just jump into the most important stuff for today. Of course, guys, there are a couple of steps before we actually visit within the subjects. Most important, of course, the huge disclaimer, we are not financial advisors. We are just a bunch of geeks trying to debunk the market with the tools available, with the AI and everything, and also our knowledge. David Tech is getting very, very close to the celebration of 5 years. Can you imagine that? It's quite amazing. And yeah, of course, give you guys as well the tools in order to build and to have profitable strategies. Also, very important, guys, take care with the pretenders. There are so many pretenders out there within the YouTube channel or within Discord, within the DMs. In the Discord itself, the server itself is pretty clean. We are managing it with AI tools, so it's manual input as well, in order to make sure that we do not have such scams or anything like that. But still, if anybody jumps into the chat with you and asks for a Bitcoin to give it to you back, or to invest into some kind of third-party platform, that's 100% fake. It's not us. Do not trust it. Of course, davidtech.com is the way to go. If you guys have any questions within the voice chat, make sure to just ask ahead. It's an open mic session. Or if you do not have the chat, or if you are within other sites, for example, if you're on YouTube, if you are from X as well, hello there. Make sure to join our Discord, because within the voice chat, there is a small chat bubble which says open chat. You can click on it, and of course, you can ask away your question at any moment. This is, of course, recorded as well. So if you don't want to be included within the recording, if you want to just ask away any question, please let me be aware of that, and I'm going to mute you for the recording. And of course, I'll answer your question as best as possible. On today's agenda, it's very stacked. Today would be 23rd of March 2026. Starting as well very strong with Yuli's newest indicator. If you guys are not aware, Yuli is a university teacher. He's teaching electrical engineering in the Eastern Europe. He joined David a couple of months ago. He started to develop TradingView strategies. He's doing an amazing job. He has developed, I guess, like 13 indicators, if I'm not mistaken, around that number. And yeah, today is going to be fire as well. We have so many good updates for as a side to that as well. We have also the new David Tech strategies made possible with Yuli's newest indicator, which we're pretty much applying the David Tech boilerplate, how Apple likes to say, the David Tech intelligence next to Yuli's indicator. And of course, we are creating strategies which you can backtest and test over the time and so on, and to keep the progress recorded. We're also going to launch a new website this week, the app version of pretty much David Tech. So you guys can have everything together within one platform. It's going to be a website. Maybe it's going to be an app in the future as well. David has a background in building apps. So who knows, if we ask nicely, he might build an app as well for the phone and everything. But so far, you can use the website. What else do we have? We are going to also have a special webinar starting this Sunday. So make sure you can watch the newest video over YouTube and the previous ones as well, in order to find out some more regarding to the new webinar that we are going to do. I believe it's going to be around 2 p.m. Central European time. again, make sure to do check out our newest videos over YouTube, because in the description there is a link to join the event. Also, if we have the time, we are going to talk a little bit about the elite backtesters. Pretty much tomorrow would be the main day about that. But if we have the time, I'm going to introduce you guys a little bit into that as well. So, first topic, the most important one, the main of the hour. Yuri, how are you doing, my friend? What updates do you have?
So before we start, Vlad, I'll go just ask the question. So maybe after that
Oh,
we can
sure.
proceed.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's see. For the relaunch of the strategy factory, will the full strat still be available even if it's filtered bot or not? Is that being released today? So every strategy is going to be released. It's more about we are going to put them in a B side, or we are making sure that, for example, let me just cover the whole subject. So David has finished the project of Hot or Not. We just reviewed about 2,000 strategies, and about 800 or so were actually very good. We put them into the hot category. We are going to showcase more that category rather than the whole 2,000 or so strategies, because of ease of use. Beginners as well have been a little bit confused about the number of the strategies. So everything will be there. We are never going to delete anything. It's just more about the showcase and putting up front the more better, I suggest saying, strategies. Because again, based on the trend, based on the Bitcoin price, the evolution of Bitcoin and so on, these bad supposed strategies could actually be profitable. So maybe like once or twice a year we could actually revisit them, put them into the A side of things, and of course the A side, put them into the B side and so on, and maybe create like a C side of which are not profitable for years and years and so on. But again, nothing gets deleted, everything will be there. It's just more about the accessibility for beginners in order to find their way a little bit faster. I hope that answers your question. Also about the release, I'm not sure if it's going to happen today exactly. David had an emergency at the dentist, but it should be happening 100% in the next couple of days. 100% happening within this week. No problem. Thank you very much for the question. If you guys have any questions, feel free to interrupt at any moment. Yuli, my friend, how are you doing? Let me know what you have been cooking so far.
All good. Excited for today as always.
Awesome. Nice to hear.
So let me firstly share my screen. Tell me if you can see it.
In just one moment, let me just pause mine very quickly. Zoom you in a little bit. Share my screen, the Discord. Yeah, we're good.
Good. That's very good. Okay. Let's put the presenter view. Okay, nice. So, before we start, I'm starting to feel more and more confident with this community and with David Tech team. So it's pretty nice for me to be part of this. Glad to be here again with you, presenting another interesting indicator. So as you said, Vlad, we already have like a portfolio. I'm not really sure about the number. I think it's something around 15, 20 or something like that. But yeah, as you always do, you are looking in the future. So I'm also thinking about this. Maybe by the first half of this year, I think we'll have a strong portfolio that we may turn it into some interesting strategies by mixing them around. Who knows what is coming? So, for today, I'm pretty excited for the indicator. It's a moving average indicator, which I worked for some weeks on it. The core idea is coming from me having a moving average indicator as well. So I was researching on the moving averages already in the TradingView platform and looking for like gaps or advantages, disadvantages, and so on. So I tried to build myself another moving average that is trying to cover them and also to go further with the performance, to say so. So yeah, here is how I managed to prepare the indicator for today, the Regime Adaptive Robust Moving Average, RARMA, or as Vlad is saying, Yuli's moving average. So yeah, it will be interesting to see it. For anyone, if it's someone new, so by Monday we are presenting these new indicators every week, and after that on Wednesday I'm trying to convert this indicator into a very simple strategy. We just take profit and stop loss based only on the indicator itself. So it's the Wednesday part is more to understand better how the indicator looks in the TradingView platform, what the input does, how to tune it, and so on. I also think that it's a great idea that we are recording this on YouTube because maybe when you will have access to these indicators. You can try and cover again the video on the YouTube to understand better how to use that indicator. So no further talking. Let's go to our indicator for today. So RARMA is a robust adaptive moving average, or you can think it as a signal engine designed to separate cleaner trend behavior from noisier market structure without turning regime into a hard entry veto. So this indicator blends regime awareness, robust recursion, and adaptive thresholding. So the moving average changes speed and signal strictness with market conditions. Compared with classic moving averages like SMA and EMA, this indicator is built to adapt when the market becomes directional and defend itself when the market becomes noisy or unstable. Also, compared with some adaptive moving averages like Kama, Frama, or McGinley, Rarma is less focused on being just a smarter average line and is more focused on being a complete adaptive trend and signal framework. This allows it not only to speed up in cleaner directional moves and slow down in choppier conditions, but also to defend itself better against unstable, noisy, or shock-driven price action. How it does that? Well, it combines several objectives that we try to achieve by creating this indicator. So we have a multiplication between ER and ADX regime quality to estimate how trend friendly the market is. Next, we have a robust Haber algorithm, recursive filter to reduce spike sensitivity, a shock memory to slow reactivity after abnormal moves, a distribution aware threshold so signal strictness can adapt to local score behavior, and of course, as you are used to, policy A, previous bar confirmed buy and sell publication, so plotted signals are fixed and backtest consistent by design. The logic flow of this indicator starts, of course, as always, with our metric preparation. So the script filters the chosen source through a recursive, robust average. The flow is like compute efficiency ratio from recent source movement versus accumulated noise. then compute ADX normalization from the DMI and ADX, combine them into bounded regime score, smooth that regime score, and in the end gives us a continuous estimate of market quality from weak choppy to strong trending. Next, we have our adaptive recursion. So the RADMA line itself is not a plain EMEA. It basically blends between fast and slow alpha parameter using the smoothed regime score, downweights outliers with a Hubbard cutoff, and optionally damps adaptation using shock memory after large dislocations. So the line is intended to be faster in cleaner trend, slower in chop, and less likely to overreact to one bar spikes. The next section is related to score construction. So after the recursive filter is built, the engine computes a signal score. Positive score if source above the RARMA line, and negative score if source below RARMA. And of course, magnitude is normalized by robust local scale. After that, we apply the threshold construction. So the script then builds the live signal threshold in stages. We have a base threshold, optional distribution aware threshold from recent absolute score, and also optional adaptive chop penalty based on weak regime and band break widening when that mode is selected. So the effective entry barrier is not always fixed. It can widen in chop or when recent score dispersion increases. In the end, our signal logic, there are three signal modes. We have cross, so buy, sell when score is above, below threshold. We have more complex one, cross plus the slope. So three same threshold requirement plus the RARMA line must be rising from buy or falling for sell. And the last one is the band break. So buy, sell require exceeding band threshold, where the band threshold, you will see it's a maximum between a multiplier and our set threshold. The math behind this, or at least the most relevant algorithms used to implement this moving average or this indicator. So firstly, we have the adaptive alpha that we said earlier. It should ask on the question on how fast should this line move. So RARMA defines like two EMEAs, update with update speeds on alpha fast and alpha slow. Then it interpolates between them using the smoothed regime. So the alpha base is equal with alpha slow plus smoothed regime multiplied with the difference between these two parameters, the fast and slow. So when regime is weak, the smoothed regime is approximately 0, so alpha is near the slow value. When the regime is strong, the smoothed regime is approximately 1, so alpha is near the fast value. The next important algorithm is the Hubbard weighting. It asks to or the main idea is to ignore part of the spike, but not like all of it. So this is the robust statistics part. The cutoff is determined by multiplying the Hubbard K parameter with the scale. Then the residual weight, omega, it's 1 if the return is lower than cutoff, or it's cutoff over the that value if it's over it. So for normal moves, the update is full strength. For very large moves, the effective contribution is shrunk. That is like a classic Hubbard behavior, like small residuals act like least squares, big residuals get downweighted instead of dominating the filter. We also added like an, let's say, innovative algorithm into the TradingView platform, the shock memory. So after a shock, it says something like stay cautious for a while. The basically the code measures how far beyond the Huber threshold the move was. So now we have shock now, which is the maximum between that difference of the weighting and zero. So if the move is still inside the Huber region, shock now is zero. If it is much larger, this parameter becomes positive. Then it creates a decaying state variable, so the shock memory, and clamps it to a parameter called shock cap. This is basically an exponentially decaying memory of recent abnormal moves. It is then converted into a normalized risk score. So we have our shock risk, which is the clamp of shock memory over the shock cap, the two parameters computed before. And also, it gives us an alpha dampener, which is equal with alpha base over the 1 plus the shock alpha multiplier multiplied with shock memory. So this is translated like after a shock, the average temporarily becomes slower and more cautious. This is why Rarma tends not to chase a single violent bear as aggressively as a normal fast EMEA would do. And in the end, our classification in signal logic. The script has the three signal modes that we presented before. The cross by if the dead zone score is above the positive threshold, or if it's lower than the negative one. Cross plus slope, same thresholds, plus the Rarma slope confirmation. So buy or sell only if the rising, falling of the function of which depends on Rarma line and the slope length. And the last one is band break, uses a band threshold that requires score to exceed a stronger barrier defined by the maximum between a band multiplier and a threshold. As you are used to, we also present a first view of the indicator, so the outputs and visuals section. So what you should expect from this indicator, we have our main line, the Rarma line, the main filtered line if you want. So its opacity reflects regime or shock context, so stronger or cleaner conditions make the line more visually assertive. And beside that, we have our bands. It's optional upper-lower bands around the Rarma line. These serve as context, especially in band break mode. Next, we have buy-sell markers, so optional triangle markers on the price chart based on the strategy used, cross plus slope, or band break. The confidence labels, so you can also optional have some on-chart labels showing the previous bar confidence score as a percent for buy-sell signals. And the last one, the parameter mapping table, again, it's an optional setting table showing macro mapped values, currently active values, and whether expert overrides change them. So uh, as you saw, there are a lot of optional things in this indicator, which was one of the main idea when I tried to design this indicator. So it should be like a simple indicator, like the just the Rarma line. If you want to add more context to it, you can try those optionals. But if not, you can have just the line and try your other strategies or indicators based on this moving average. So yes, that was the main idea from the beginning to for you to use this indicator in many directions to say so. Just as a small small or little spoiler for Wednesday to say so. Here you don't have the table because uh, it's it's not so easy to explain it without showing the inputs. But just for you to know, you have like an easy mode of tuning with just three knobs, and based on that you can select the responsiveness, the robustness and selectivity. And if you want to go deeper, you can always change the 100 inputs that can be applied to the indicator. So the mapping table that I'm talking about will save the parameters that you are tuning on easy mode, so that when you go to the expert one, you can follow those inputs, or maybe just some of them. You'll see it's quite interesting by the visual point of view, to say so. And also the results seems to be promising. I'm really hoping to have some feedback from you when you'll get access to this indicator, and to see how it will perform in time. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and hope you like this indicator as well.
Great work. Thank you very much, Yuli. Amazing presentation, amazing work, and also amazing indicator. Right. So let me just shift back towards my screen. Again, thank you very much, Yuli. Really impressive work. Let me just go here. There you go. For Discord, we should be good. And also over the YouTube. There you go. So again, congratulations, Yuli. An amazing job. Thank you very much for your input. So I'm going to also show you guys just a little bit of a preview of the easy mode of the strategy. We just received the code from Yuli, loaded the David boilerplater, and pretty much did nothing. Just left it as it is, just check some coins. And yeah, let's just have a look together. I think you guys should be able to see my screen. Yes, you can. So here we have one of the first ones, which I discovered that's pretty amazing performance, if you ask me, to just have this as it is without any change towards the settings or anything. It's just the easy mode, the simple mode, or however you wish to call it, for the indicator itself, because the indicator also have a more advanced mode with more than 20 fields for our members to have a look at it. And yeah, pretty impressive stuff. So this one, having with the base settings over a 45 minutes chart time frame on 1000 units of Pepe, we do have the strategy, which is RRRMA, with the performance of 104%, maximum drawdown 12%, which is quite good. So you can definitely maybe try to risk a little bit more if you understand how the leverage works and also the position size. You could maybe risk a little bit more in order to maybe achieve something like 20% maximum drawdown in exchange for like 200 or even very close to 300% more profits. Total trades 215. We do know my rule of thumb. If you can see huge unique trade, you maybe need some more trades to your strategy, which I would like to highlight the word maybe. It's just my 2 cents about how the frequency should be for a strategy in order to stay as far as possible from the overfitting. Win rate 53, very close to 54%. Profit factor 1.45. Let's see very quickly the buy and hold. Unfortunately, the Pepe coin had a rough, amazing ride, I would like to say, starting from 2024. Unfortunately, you can definitely see that our strategy is pretty much catching up. And if the trend of the buying holding would continue, I believe we are on a good track with our strategy as well. Currently, the buy and hold since January 2024 would be 153%, with our strategy being at 104%. We are pretty much at the maximum ever. The maximum ever for buy and hold, of course, is Pepe. We all know the journey of Pepe, 1,600%. However, the minimum, so the negative ever, I believe would be around here. It would be negative 37% rather than our strategy, which pretty much started with some wins. But I believe at the very, very beginning, it had like, let me just hide away there you go. This trade over here will be under the zero line. However, I believe it's very good just because there is no optimization on top applied to this setup. I'm going to jump
So
very,
Vlad,
very quickly.
can you let me 2 minutes?
Sure.
Just
Sure.
thank you. So just a small observation for everybody watching this, because for me it was confusing in the beginning. So when Vlad is saying like base settings, it means just opened the the indicator, tried the different time frames, and that's it. So nothing
Exactly.
changed at all. So yeah, I mean, from my point of view, this is amazing that it works just with the balance settings set by default. Thank you.
Indeed. That's pretty much. I think I didn't explain properly. Thank you very much, Yuli, for highlighting. So by base settings, I mean as soon as you open the strategy into your chart, you just go into the indicators, as you might guys know already. Go through the invite only. Just search the letter R either here in the first line of order or in the second line of order, the ones with the rocket. This one doesn't have a rocket, so it should be around the letter R. Let me just find it so I can prove my point. There you go. This one, you just open it. You, of course, disable the welcome message. And if you want to enable the optimizer mode, if you go to Pepe, 1000 units of Pepe over Bybit on 45 minutes chart time frame, this is the exact setup that you're going to, it's going to welcome you. That's what the base settings mean. Thank you very much, Yuli, for highlighting the
It
better
sounds so
explaining.
good. It sounds so good, the welcome thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the welcome message, which says like, hey guys, you should be aware that the strategies cannot be set up for all the coins from the beginning. We are just giving away the strategy in order for you guys to actually explore the settings, explore the possibilities. And of course, if you wish to share your progress, you're going to also get access to the Elite Backtesters database of setups. So it's pretty much like a service with how did David call it? I scratch your back, you scratch my back, everybody's happy, pretty much. So yeah, all good. Let me check very, very quickly if there is any questions. Labeling Blue, hello, hope you're doing well. Support, a very impressive strategy. Yes, indeed. I'm amazed that it works very, very good. I mean, very good in like, again, base settings. You just open this and it works like this over multiple coins. Let me just proceed further with the coins. So we have here Solana over 2 hours. We would have here Ripple on 2 hours. Again, it's not one of the best strategies that I've seen or at all, but still it's some base settings that we can actually work on. Maybe we could get into the more advanced side of the indicator, and then we could have like maybe double the amount of trades, and then we are maybe going to have either a little bit more of profit because we are compounding a little bit more, and then we can filter with the Davitech boilerplate in order to achieve some better settings, or by just tuning the main indicator that Yuli made and adjusting a little bit the take profit and the stop loss. Either way, it's fantastic. This one on optimism on 45 minutes. This one looks very good on ARB, community's favorite, ARB over 45 minutes. Next, we have Mantle as well, which looks very, very good. Then we have Doge, which is again pretty good as a base settings. There are some trades on a 45 minutes chart time frame. We do have the history of about 2 years, so that's like 700 or so days. So pretty much like a trade each 3-4 days, depending on how active the market is. Next, we have DOT. over a 1 hour chart time frame. Again, very good base settings for very beginners. Also, as ending, we also have ENA over a 45-minute chart time frame, which looks very good. Unfortunately, there are not so many trades, so maybe we could detune a little bit the strategy. Maybe the settings behind are a little bit too strict, like we are not getting many signals. So we could get a little bit more. Maybe again with the compounding, we are going to also increase the profit, or maybe we are going to not do that because we are enabling some bad trades as well to happen. But we can try another filter, for example, the bull and bear power, or I don't know, the ADX and so on. We have so many filters within the Davytech boilerplate to try out. Again, fantastic indicator. We are going to revisit it on Wednesday, pretty much at a similar hour time, where Yuli has some impressive stuff to show. I've seen it a little bit before the show about this indicator itself. I think he did like a diving into the more advanced settings, and he didn't share with us yet because it's a big surprise. But yeah, looking very, very good. So that's pretty much it with the newest strategy from the Davytech, also the setups example. Also on the newer website, guys, you should expect it happening within this week. We are going to fuse together pretty much everything through Davytech on one place. Finally, we are getting everything together. You don't have to jump between other websites. You have everything at a couple of clicks away. Also, if you wish to join the new webinar, which will happening as of Sunday, there are a couple of days for that webinar. So in case you cannot do Sunday, there will be other occasions as well. Make sure you are checking out our newest YouTube videos. There is a link within the description. Now, the last topic for today would be a very short Elite Backtesters Meet preview, on which I'm going to show you guys some of the setups which we are going to review together tomorrow. It's just 6 randomly chosen, not the best, not the worst, of course. And without further ado, let's just jump right into them. So, starting with a setup on Ethereum over 90 minutes chart time frame, we do have the Steve Surge, which is one of the very best strategies within Davytech. Fortunately enough, we have Yuli here, and maybe these strategies would be put together in some sort of a backwards, a little bit lean backwards, so we can have the newest strategies being featured a little bit more. Since we have the easy mode, the more advanced mode, and so on, I believe is going to be a little bit easier to also optimize. However, this one has a performance of 376%, maximum drawdown 37%, total trades 146, win rate 45%, and a profit factor of 1.5. Equity curve doesn't look the best, doesn't look the worst ever. It's just it takes a long time in order to actually generate some trend of the actual equity curve and also some profit. As you guys can see, we are pretty much waiting for about 1.5 years in order to make some more consistent profits. So maybe just leave it on incubation, see how it goes for a couple of weeks or even a couple of months. And then you can revisit, of course, a little bit later. However, if we were to check the buy and hold performance for Ethereum since 2022, January, we can definitely see that our strategy is better on all the ways possible. So currently 376% rather than negative 26%, maximum ever 433 rather than 50%, and the minimum ever 8% on negative rather than negative 68%. Next, we have another setup on Ethereum. This time the equity curve looks a little bit, or actually better, and that's it. On 90 minutes, here you have again the Steve Surge with the performance of again 300%, very similar to the previous one, with a maximum drawdown of 25%, total trades 330. So we do have performance of about 4 years and a couple of months. So that's like 1,500 or so days since the starting point. So maybe we have about a trade each 5 or 6 days. It really depends again on the activity of the market. The win rate 50% and a profit factor of 1.3. Equity curve looks pretty good. I mean, it's basically just going up on average. There are a little bit of sideways momentums and also some drawbacks, like for example here, 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 and here. Maybe you could check Ethereum from these dates from here to here, and maybe try to filter these events for the equity curve in order to not happen, and of course achieve some better profits, achieve better drawdown, and so on. Benchmark wise, again, our strategy is crushing it. Currently 308% with the maximum ever of 332, rather than negative currently 28% on the buy to hold, or the maximum ever just 47%. Minimum wise, our strategy was negative under the zero line, rather than the buy to hold being negative 72%. It's up to you guys if you wish to buy and hold or become a algo trader, the green trader or the blue trader. It's 100% up to you. Let's see. Next, we have SS against USDT. I don't think I heard of this coin before. Over 2 hours chart time frame. We do have the McGilly trend followers, which is again one of the very best strategies within Davitech, with a crazy performance of 10,000%. That's amazing. Also, check out the performance of the past months. Never a negative month. That's, wow, impressive. Maximum drawdown 24%, total trades 172. Let's see what else. Here we have the win rate of 58% and the profit factor, quite amazing one, 3.17, which is wow. Again, just wow. Benchmark wise, buy and hold, it's pretty much at dirt level currently, so pretty much losing all of the money, rather than our strategy being currently at 10,000% with the maximum ever around 11,000 and with the minimum ever of 0%. Again, our strategy pretty much started winning from the day zero and it pretty much went going. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better over YouTube. So yeah, again, fantastic strategy. This is definitely going to be on my watch list as well. One thing that I kind of don't like is the minimum total trades, 172. But again, if this proves to be profitable over the long term, for example, just give it like 2 or 3 weeks in order to develop maybe like 10 or 20 trades, however you are comfortable with, you can consider going live with this strategy. That's 100% what I'm going to do. Then we have optimism over 1 hour with the glitchy trend. Very good to see strategies that pop here and there as well. With a performance of 3,000%, maximum drawdown 25%, total trades 281. We have the win rate of 55% and the profit factor of 1.81. Equity curve looks very good. I mean, again, pretty much shooting up to the stars. Recent performance isn't the best ever. As of 27th of February, it had like just 1 win and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses. So maybe if we could expect like 5 or 6 wins in a short amount of time and maybe another loss in between or something like that, it could be again on average a win rate of 55%. Profit factor 1.8, I think I've said it already. Performance of the past months looks very good. I definitely don't see anything like a pattern, rather than January, April, June, August, September, and November have been always profitable. Currently, unfortunately, for the current month of March, we are negative 8%, but we still have like 8 days or 7 days left in order to maybe turn the ship around and have a positive month. Benchmark wise, we are doing very good rather than the buy and hold. I mean, it's pretty much again in the dirt. We have the current performance of 3,000% with the maximum ever of 3,400%. Minimum ever negative 5% rather than negative 90% like we have on the current and the minimum ever. So pretty much the minimum ever. Let me just put for reference the buy and hold. There you go. You can barely see, but trust me, guys, this negative 90% is very important right here. Let me see some of the comments. We have David here. Hello, David. Hope you're doing well. Hope the dentistry visit was okay. Yes, I can sit on the beach. Hope the tea looks amazing. Indeed, it was looking great, and it is looking great as well. Next, we have a setup over BTC. Let me just check if we have any comments over Discord. We are good. This one, we have Bitcoin over 4 hours. So it's pretty much like a long-term strategy. We have TradingView, which is again one of the very best strategies within DavidTech, with a performance of 700%, 726. We have the maximum drawdown of 14%, total trades 280. Here we have the win rate of 48% and the profit factor of 1.63. I'm not sure on the buy to hold. I mean, yeah, over the period of about 6 years, Bitcoin had an amazing ride. However, if you can check out, we are just barely near the current performance of buy to hold. So again, up to you guys if you wish to have some kind of a roller coaster equity curve, or maybe the more steady algo trader route. Again, with the buy to hold, it's Bitcoin over 6 periods. As a time frame, of course, the maximum ever is very high. However, we are very close to the current performance, pretty much the maximum ever. It's around matching the current performance of Bitcoin. Also negative, Bitcoin was not down since 2020, which is very good to see finally a coin which doesn't have negative 90 or something on the minimum side. However, our strategy just did a negative 1%. I believe it was at the very beginning, like a couple of losses in a row. And that's pretty much it with this strategy as well. And the last one for today, we have a strategy on Bitcoin on a pretty custom time frame, 149. We are doing this so we don't have any liquidity problems. Most important on these smaller coins, if, for example, everybody jumps to a trade, to algo trade or to trade at 5 p.m., pretty much, let's just say a random hour, 5 p.m., no matter the at UTC, or doesn't really matter the exact time. If you have like a smaller coin, you could have some liquidity issues, and maybe your order could be either skipped or filled in at a very different price. With Bitcoin, I imagine you don't have such problems. However, if you wish to stay away maybe from, I don't know, again, liquidity problems, or maybe you want to stay away from a huge volume of trades, you could apply some very custom timeframes. Like, for example, this one uses 2 hours and 29 minutes, so very close to 2 hours and a half, with the performance of 3,300%, maximum drawdown just 20%, very good. Total trades 147, a little bit on the lower side, however, it's pretty good. Win rate 47% and a profit factor of 2.9. That's pretty big. Benchmark wise, our strategy is crushing it. We're pretty much at the top of the performance currently, with a performance of 3,360%, with a minimum ever of negative 8%, rather than just buying, holding this coin since, again, about 6 years. The current performance would be similar to the previous one, so 678%, with the maximum ever one of 1,000%, with a negative of 5%. So yeah, we're pretty much crushing the Bitcoin performance in the long term. Let me see the buy and hold. There you go. So at the beginning here, Bitcoin had the beyond COVID bull run. I believe this is the point where Elon Musk has introduced the availability of buying Teslas with Bitcoin. And yeah, the planets align in order to have such amazing Bitcoin journey. But unfortunately, as you can see, didn't last so long. Then we had the US elections, and of course the 100,000 breakout, $100,000 for the Bitcoin price. But still, our strategy is on top pretty much 95% of the time. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, with the setups for the elite backtesters and the main topics for today. a quick performance update. Unfortunately, David is not with us today. He had an emergency, and I believe his portfolio is pretty much around the same, maybe up $100 or somewhere within that area. I'm sure he'll be showing us an update for tomorrow. Here we have the leaderboards of quite popular exchanges on which you can definitely see some of the David Tech members. Also, we do have members within the top 1%, 1 and something percent over the Bybit exchange, which is amazing to see. Also, guys, the phishing challenge on Trade Harbor, trade-harbor.com.au. I hope I got it right. I'm going to show the website regardless. Phishing over Trade Harbor has a challenge, the 1000 challenge, on which it doubled and is up a little bit more than that currently. You can definitely see he just sent me the update over 124% in the profits, which is amazing. There's also a new post within Share Your Wins of somebody which has done, let me see very, very quickly. So he's up 20% with a Bitcoin change of negative 24% in 2 months, which is amazing, guys. Just point me to one bank that gives you that amount in 1 year or maybe 2 years. None of them do that. The classic banks give about, I guess, 6, or I guess maximum ever would be like 7% APY on the yearly time frame. So yeah, amazing, really amazing results. Also, your reliable bot's website, Trigger.trade. Make sure you check it out in order to connect to David Tech strategies, and not only to the most popular and reliable exchanges. Let me see. Let me show you guys the Trade Harbor website as well. Where do I have it? I have it over the new tab. There you go. I hope you guys can see my screen. Here we have the short introduction about phishing. Here will be the website trade-harbor.com/au. Here you have also, again, a short log about what's happening with the portfolio. And of course, this very beautiful, steady, growing equity curve. And also the Bitcoin change, which isn't the best ever. I mean, I've seen Bitcoin having a short surge after Donald Trump sharing that, I believe, the US impact over Iran and within Asia would be over, but I've seen that was actually not true. It was not confirmed on the second part of the topic. And of course, Bitcoin dumped a little bit as well. So yeah, regardless, very cool app, very cool journey for the phishing. So congratulations again for this amazing performance. Okay, so nice for tomorrow, guys. As I said earlier, we have the Elite Backtesters meeting on which I'm going to show all the setups happening in the last week, which I'm very happy to say that we are getting very, very close to a total of 2,000 setups overall in a matter of, like, I guess, close to 3 years, which is amazing. Also, I'm going to do a short AI indicator update on the last couple of weeks. I've been trying to vibe code the reasoning behind most popular AIs and turn them into PineScript. I was successful about 99%, just because I couldn't manage to reverse engineer the idea of how we actually trade within David Tech. Like, for example, if the conditions align on the current candle close, we are going to have a trade. Unfortunately, it's a conditional order, so the price must get to a certain price level until we have until that we have an invalidation period, and of course after that we have the take profit and a stop loss. So it was a little bit challenging, but of course we are testing stuff out, and fortunately enough, it's looking pretty good. Let's see some of the and of course some of the more updates from David as soon as tomorrow about the website and also the webinar and everything else. Also, David is within the chat. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Looking forward to see everyone tomorrow. Yes, we look also forward to see you tomorrow. Traveling home. Awesome. Get home safe. Stop looking at the phone and look ahead. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for the updates for today. Let me see if there is any questions within the Discord. If you guys have any questions about the David Tech community or anything in regards to David Tech, it's pretty much like an open mic session, or you can write your question directly within the chat. I'm going to have just a very quick look to see if there is anything new within YouTube. If not, guys, I would like to wish you a very good day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new edition for the David Tech AI Lab meeting, or the lab itself in short. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. I'll see you tomorrow at pretty much similar time with a new webinar more focused about the elite backtesters. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, whatever the time is. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Sorba the Greek, thank you. SkiAV, have a good one. Have a great day, everyone. Lloyd as well. Nelson, thank you very much, guys. Have a good day. Goodbye.